As a leader among leaders, I think it's important that we are responsible with our platform, that we don't take for granted what we have, the access we have, the influence we have, the freedom and liberty we have. Today, many people tend to abuse their platforms, misuse it, and are quite, to just be quite honest, irresponsible. We don't think about it. We feel like I can say what I want to say, and it doesn't care. I don't mind who hears me. Today, I had an opportunity to listen to just a few minutes of the Reconciled Church that Bishop Jakes and some other leaders are, forum that Bishop Jakes and some other leaders are participating in at the Pastors and Leaders Conference there in Orlando, Florida. And I appreciate what I heard from Bishop Jakes. I appreciate it because while he shared his views and while he expressed his concern, he was not saying it in a politically correct way, meaning he didn't water down his emotions, but he was very responsible. And I just wanted to cite a couple of things that he did say that really stood out for me. One thing, speaking to our issues and what's going on in America right now, he referenced that media, our forefathers did not ever foresee media being big business. We never knew that the medium that was set out to keep the world abreast of what was going on would turn into big business. And so he said, as a preacher and a businessman, I want you to know that rating rules the business, and it's not possible to unify us. I mean, it's not profitable to unify us. It's just not. And so, because it's not profitable to show us with unity, we'll see the planes that go down rather than the ones that stay in the air. We'll see the fights that are killing people rather than us coming together in unity. He said, someone has tainted the well by which we access information. And I appreciate him saying that. I appreciate him saying that because when you get to see the truth and you get to see what's going on behind the scenes, when you are a little man, when your platform is not big and you say they're lying, people don't take you seriously. They don't honor you, they don't respect you, and they don't value what you say. So I appreciate Bishop using his platform responsibly, even just to make that statement, which is a bold statement against the very media that not only looks for opportunities to disparage his name. I mean, he's a big preacher standing up for Christ. I mean, so let's be real, that's what they're going to do. But also it's the same media that promotes him heavily and that helps him to be profitable in the areas in which he's profitable in. So I appreciate him pointing out that truth. The second thing he said, one of the other things that I noticed that I appreciate is that he says we are living in a time in which we embrace the diversity of assumptions. We are establishing our idea of what diversity means based on assumptions, not what we know. And so we use the media to teach us about other people rather than walking across the street to go and learn about them. And he said we don't know each other. And so in a time of crisis, when we need each other, we can't be there for each other because we don't know each other. I thought that was amazing because we don't. We only know what we see on TV. We only know what they're projecting online. We haven't made the time to go in and get to know one another. So here we are in the middle of a crisis like what we see in Baltimore and just around the world, and we don't even know our brothers. So I appreciate him saying that. And then the third thing, maybe I'm going to get a third point that I pulled out from his conversation that I thought was amazing was that he pointed out that it's not the guns, it's not the violence, it's not the guns or violence that's killing our officers or killing our sons. It's the silence of the church. He brought back up a truth that Martin Luther King said years ago that the 11 o'clock hour on a Sunday morning is still the most segregated hour. And yet here we are 50 years later, and it's still that. And I thank him for saying that. Thank him for putting it out there and making it true because we don't know each other. We're quiet because we're segregated. And then the last thing is as he closed, I think I want to end with this because he ended with this, and it really mattered to me. Again, a profound yet responsible use of his platform. Bishop Jakes ended his conversation by saying this. He said, "This is a call to renounce assumptions." He said, you can teach me a lot of things. You can teach me how to do trigonometry, because I probably forgot. You can teach me how to speak or whatever. I think he named some couple of things, because I don't know this. And then he named a few other things. But he ended with this. He said, but you can't teach me how to be black. And I appreciated him as an African-American woman, as a black woman in 2015 who loves black men. I appreciate a black man that is in power, that's well respected, that is successful, and that has learned to maneuver both sides, that has influence on both sides of the track, to be able to say this statement emphatically on his platform, not and very responsibly, but not shrinking back, saying, you can't teach me how to be black. And so that's a word to all of our non-black brothers and sisters in Christ, and those who are not even in Christ, that you can't teach us how to be black. So you got to learn us instead of trying to teach us how to be who we are. I appreciate him saying that. And his last statement, I think I'll close with this, is we didn't come as a church to take sides, but it's time for the church to take over. What a classic way, what an honorable way, what a responsible way to leverage your platform. Thank you, Bishop Jakes, and I pray that those of us who are leaders today glean from what he did.